Hello everyone. Welcome to
Joe,
Bangers.
You're a little close to your mic, I think.
Am I? This is just how I record videos normally. So
Yeah. Okay. This is a good distance.
This is a good distance. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello everyone.
A little bit.
Oh, I peaked it so bad. I'm sorry. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Bangers, Bops, and Banter. This is episode number 62. We're chugging along. We keep going. We're not stopping.
We sure do.
If there's one thing that's at least kind of consistent, it's the podcast.
Kind of, sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a cool show coming up for you. We're going to be talking about some music and movie news. Afterwards, we're going to talk about the question of the week, which was...
The songs that describe emotions.
Part one. We'll probably do a part 2 in the future. Then we're going to talk about Fully Completely by the Tragically Hip. Their 1992 record. Probably their best received record, I'd say.
It's that and Phantom Power are up there.
Yeah. And then after that, we're going to be discussing Spike Lee's "Do the Right Thing." So, yeah. With that, let's get into the music news. Oh, we didn't introduce ourselves. I'm Joe. I completely forgot about that. I'm Joe. I'm here with my co-host Brendan.
Hi, I'm the co-host Brendan.
And we have a podcast. Anyway.
Yes.
Music news. First in music news, there's the Met Gala event thing.
Yeah, that happens every year. I guess it didn't happen last year, but...
Yeah. Frank Ocean had a green baby.
Oh, I just lost connection to Joe this early on in the podcast. That's
let's
good.
go. My
Frank
Wi-Fi sucks.
He's the guy.
My Wi-Fi sucks for anyone wondering. It just kind of cuts out randomly sometimes. I don't know if Brendan can hear me again yet.
You cut off at Frank Ocean.
Okay. Yeah, so I could hear you that whole time, by the way. I don't know why my Wi-Fi does this. I will cut out for other people, but I can still hear them.
So it's your upload that gets fucked. That's weird.
I don't know. But yeah, so Frank Ocean had a green baby. Like a green baby puppet thing. He had, Lil Nas X was there in his gold suit. The AOC was there.
Yes,
she wore the Tax the Rich dress. It was an event. Cool. Next. The VMAs happened.
Oh, yeah.
They happened. No one cares. Because why would you?
I didn't even know until you just said it.
Yeah. But we have some winners. So Video of the Year went to Montero by Lil Nas X.
That's
solid
fair.
Choice. Artist of the Year went to Justin Bieber.
Why?
Why? Olivia Rodrigo is also there. I don't know why she wasn't picked.
Why Justin? Why?
I don't know. He's like the one who deserves it the least.
Yeah.
Because there's also Ariana. Well, Ariana Grande hasn't really done anything.
Not this year.
Yeah.
I mean, she had, what was it, Positions? They came out late last year.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
There's Doja Cat.
Also really hasn't done much in the past year.
Well, she released an album.
What? Was that?
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago.
Oh, that album.
Yeah.
I don't really like that album.
I was gonna listen to it, and then I just didn't. So, Megan Thee Stallion was also nominated, which I think is a good nomination.
Also a good choice.
Olivia Rodrigo, who probably should have won it. And you have Taylor Swift, who, like, I mean, I guess.
I mean, Folklore and Evermore and stuff they're good. I don't know. I would like to see it to go out to like a younger artist, though, I guess.
Yeah. Song of the Year went to Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo.
Okay.
A fair choice.
Fair.
I don't. I'm just really amazed Montero was not nominated for this category.
That's odd as well. Yeah. Yes.
There was also Mood by 24 Karat Golden, Dynamite by BTS, WAP by Cardi B, which honestly probably should have won.
Yeah.
There's Levitating by Dua Lipa, and there is Leave the Door Open from Silk Sonic.
Okay. There are some good choices there. Driver's License wouldn't be my choice, but it's not a bad choice.
Yeah, that's like a solid choice. That's probably like the... Considering this is like, you know, this is Song of the Year for me is like based on popularity and like a widespread reach and how much like a cultural phenomenon it was. WAP should have won in that case.
But Driver's License was also just huge. Absolutely huge.
Best New Artist, Olivia Rodrigo won that.
Oh, yep.
Which makes sense. Honestly, I don't really care that much about the rest of the nominees. There's 24 Karat Golden, Giveon.
Yep. As a like EDM artist.
Oh, I haven't heard of him. There's the Kid Laroi, Polo G, and Saweetie.
Oh, okay.
Group of the Year is BTS. Yeah. I mean, I would have loved it if Silk Sonic won, but like, whatever.
It's BTS. What are you gonna do?
Push Performance of the Year. I don't know what that means, but Driver's License won.
Okay, sure.
Maybe this is like a live performance or something. I don't know.
Maybe she did perform on like some late night show, didn't she?
Maybe it might be like it might be that MTV has some sort of live performance or something because it's listed by months. So September, October, November, and so on.
Gotcha.
Best Collaboration. What the fuck? How did Doja Cat win this?
What?
For Kiss Me More.
Is Silk Sonic in there?
They are not because they're in group.
Oh,
no. Wait, no, they aren't. I don't know. WAP was also nominated. I think it's probably featuring an artist is probably the qualifier.
Okay.
I don't know how WAP didn't win this.
Also
Again.
Don't know how WAP didn't.
Oh my god, Drake was nominated.
Wow.
It wasn't even for like it was for Laugh Now, Cry Later, which wasn't even like a big Drake song to my knowledge. Best Pop was Peaches by Justin Bieber.
Wow.
This one over
chosen anything better.
This one over Positions, Mariana Grande, Therefore I Am by Billie Eilish, Butter by BTS, Treat People with Kindness by Harry Styles, Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo, Wonder by Shawn Mendes, and Willow by Taylor Swift. How is Willow? What? This is Best Pop. VMAs, you're on some shit. But Good For You probably should have won. I'd say.
Yeah.
Out of the ones I've listened to there. Best Hip Hop. What?
Oh, this is dangerous already.
So, Franchise by Travis Scott won. Which I literally have not heard. I've heard no one talking about it. Again, WAP was nominated, and it didn't win. But you also have Drake, you have Lil Baby, Moneybagg Yo, and Polo G in that category. Again, WAP should...
MIA. I didn't know the song existed.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Yeah, I don't know... How is WAP not won anything? Are they just cowards?
The VMAs do not, in fact, have Wet Ass Pussy.
Best Rock is straight out of, like, 2007.
Let's go. I want to hear these.
And probably like actually more like straight out of like 2004. We have "Use My Voice" by Evanescence. We have
Sorry, no.
"Shame Shame" by Foo Fighters, which like at least I can understand that one.
Okay.
I don't really like the new Foo Fighters record, but it at least felt like they're trying something different. The winner was "Last Train Home" by John Mayer. Just like, okay.
Sure.
We have "My Own Soul's Warning" by The Killers. "The Bandit" by Kings of Leon. And "Raise Vibration" by Lenny Kravitz.
There's
a bunch of stuff that's come out this year that you could have nominated easily.
There's lots of newer rock music that is good. Sure, there's like some bands there. Like I'm not upset with some of those picks, but there's just like you could look at some newer artists.
I don't know,
please,
because like if they just looked at like some underground stuff, they could have some really good nominations. Like you could have nominated, I don't know, Turnstile or something. Mm-hmm. Their new record's pretty big. You could have nominated other band that I can't think of at the moment. I can't think of...
Oh, no, my mic.
I can't think of any rock bands currently off the top of my head.
I mean, I don't know. This year alone, at least in the underground community in the pop music sphere, like Black Midi, Squid, and Black Country New Road are the three biggest rock bands I can think of. Also, like Idols. So there's a lot.
Yeah. Best alternative. I'm gonna take a drink. Excuse me. So best alternative: "Stop Making This Hurt" by Bleachers. Okay. "Heat Waves" by Glass Animals.
Oh.
I mean, I guess that's like an alternative. That's like an interesting choice. I guess that's like all right.
Yeah.
The next one is that we got "Follow You" by Imagine Dragons.
Let's go.
We have the winner, "My Ex's Best Friend" by Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay. Sure.
"Shy Away" by 21 Pilots. And "Transparent Soul" by Willow. I at least get the 21 Pilots nomination.
I don't know. I don't really like any of those songs. So
it's at least different sounding. The album's unique. I will give it that. None of those nominations are very good, though.
Yeah.
Best of Latin. We got "Daikiti," I think is how you say that, by Bad Bunny and Che Cortez. We have the winner, which is "Lovas Olvidar" by Billie Eilish and Rosalia.
Mm-hmm.
We got "Girl Like Me" by Shakira and the Black Eyed Peas. Un Dia by J Balvin, Dua Lipa, Bad Bunny, and Tiny.
I don't know, man.
It's spelled Tainy. We have "Bichota" by Karol G, and then we have "Hawaii" by Maluma. So, it's alright.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Lots of songs are decent, I think.
Yeah. Best R&B, we got "Leave the Door Open" by Silk Sonic, because of course, that Silk Sonic song is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know when the record's coming out?
I think it keeps on getting pushed. It was because I think it was supposed to be August, and that didn't happen. So.
Yeah. The other nominations, we got "Come Through" by Her, which features fucking Chris Brown. Of course it does. We got.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry. It gets better. We have "Go Crazy" by Chris Brown and Young Thug. We have "Heartbreak Anniversary" by Giveon. "Brown Skin Girl" by Beyonce, Blue Ivy, Saint Jin, and Wizkid. And we have Good Days by SZA.
Okay.
Best K-pop is Butter by BTS. Excuse me. There's a Blackpink song in there. I don't know the other. Oh, there's also
Is it the one
Twice
featuring
song.
Halsey? Is it the one featuring
it's
Halsey?
the one featuring Selena Gomez.
It's
Ice Cream. That one actually is really bad.
I don't like that one.
That one's really bad.
I'm not a big Blackpink guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Not much they've released I've enjoyed. There's also a Twice song in there. I don't know. Song of the Summer was Butter by BTS? How is... They didn't even nominate Montero. Like, bruh.
What? Or was Olivia in there?
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of nominations, but Montero isn't nominated. They did nominate Industry Baby.
Okay.
But it's just like, Montero was bigger, so I don't know why. Montero was like a big phenomenon, so I don't know. Happier Than Ever by Billie Eilish. Don't Go Yet by Camila Cabello. There's a DJ Khaled song in there. There's a Doja Cat song. There's Levitating by Dua Lipa. There's There's that Bad Habits song by Ed Sheeran. God. Why? There's a Giveon track, a Justin Bieber track. There's a Kid Laroi track. You have Rumors by Lizzo. You have Thought Shit by Megan Thee Stallion. Wild Side by Normani. Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo. And then there's a Sam Mendes. Or not Sam Mendes. He's a director. There's a Shawn Mendes song. A Video for Good was one by Billie Eilish for Your Power. There's also a Demi Lovato track nominated. Don't care about... Well, I guess Montero was also nominated. Which, I guess? Cool. Best Direction was won by Montero. Best Cinematography was won by Beyonce for Brown Skin Girl. The rest of these is just like whatever. Yeah. Anyway, VMAs apparently suck really bad. That's kind of the conclusion I've come to from that. Anyway, finally in music news, Kanye, watch out. Better watch out, Kanye, because Drake's Certified Lover Boy has unseated Donda. It's the number one spot, and really? It has the biggest week of 2021, with actually almost twice as many units sold.
Really?
Yeah, 613,000 compared to 309,000 for Donda.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, I know Drake is like huge. It still amazes me just how huge he continues to be.
Yeah, it's insane, especially since Certified Lover Boy was awful.
Pretty not good.
Yeah. Man, that album tricks you. The first, like, 2 tracks I was really fucking with. I was like, the production's really good. What? And the rest of it is awful.
The third track might be the worst Drake song I've ever heard.
What was it? She say she a lesbian? Me too.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So Drake, work on the lyrics. Maybe work on the production. Maybe just work on everything. And Drake doesn't care.
Drake doesn't need to care.
He has like the biggest album of the year. It literally does not matter if he puts effort into it or not.
I listened to it. It doesn't feel like he put in a lot of effort to this album. Yeah. And he's going to make huge amounts of money off of it.
Yeah. Well, with that, we can get into movie news. Only a few things of movie news. We'll start out with some depressing news. There's that Norm MacDonald has passed away. Tragically. It just happened today.
Unfortunate.
He passed away of cancer. Apparently, he'd been living with cancer for 9 years, which is insane.
Yeah. He kept it private.
Oh, man. yeah, Norm MacDonald, hilarious comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Just remembering the Margaret Thatcher bit right now, which is amazing. Do you have no clue what I'm talking about?
I feel like I've seen it. I don't know it off the top
he's
of my
like,
head.
what is it? He's like, I won't eat a morsel of food until Margaret Thatcher is dead and buried. She died 3 weeks ago, and he just like starts tearing into like this bucket of chicken he has. So good. Anyway, yeah. I guess then finally in movie news, The Matrix Resurrections got its first trailer.
Whoa! I love The Matrix and all of the movies in that universe.
Yeah, I've seen The Matrix.
I watched a little bit of the second one, I think. It was either the second one or the third one. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention because it wasn't good.
Yeah.
The Animatrix is really good, though. I've been meaning to see that. It's like the animated one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, with that, let's get into the question of the week. So this week's question was, what songs best represent each of the following emotions? Melancholy, rage, infatuation, hopelessness, and terror. Quite the range.
You want to go first?
Of the emotions. Sure. So for Melancholy, we have Sunbather by Deaf Heaven, which is an incredible track. It's like slowly become maybe my favorite song of all time. Which I mean, I guess that's saying a lot. But it's just, I guess the entire song is like coming to this realization that you don't belong somewhere, essentially, and you never will. And it's really depressing, and it just has this gorgeous, dreamy sounding, what's the word? Soundscape to it, I guess. Yeah. That just, I don't know, something about the sound of that record entirely. Sunbather is like, it's the one album that I think like nails the feeling of Melancholy more so than anything I've heard.
More on that coming soon.
Ooh, yeah.
little plug there.
Yeah. For Rage, I was thinking of a Rage Against the Machine track, maybe. And I do think they're up there, but I went with Hero of the Soviet Union by the Dillinger Escape Plan, which is very much a song about a not good breakup or end of a relationship, basically. There's some very... I mean, Dillinger is always like a very angry band, or an angry sounding band. Thanks both to Greg's intense vocal performances and the incredibly abrasive and interesting guitar work. But Hero of the Soviet Union, for me, kind of takes it to a new level, just with how impactful, specifically the second half of that song is. And there are some really angry lyrics in it. I have to get the lyrics page up again.
You closed it? You knew you were gonna have to talk about that.
I know. But in the second half of the song, Greg just starts like screaming, "You smell like shit, not the truth, full of device, not devotion. Conscience came right up to you, and then you threw it back. You are the scum of the earth, you are the scum of the ocean. To you it's above as below. You smear your filth across the world. That's a very bitter way to describe the end of a relationship.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, fantastic song, extremely angry. Yeah. Then for Infatuation, I have Pagan Poetry by Bjork. Honestly, most of the tracks off of Vespertine could go here. Because that album is kind of just about, like, being completely and totally in love with someone. Generally, I'd say. And Pagan Poetry, to me, like, embodies that. It's just so beautiful. You have these, like, wonderful, like, plucked strings all over it. It sounds almost, like, magical in how, like, it sounds very magical and, like, delicate. But also very, just, like, loving and caring. It's wonderful. Then, for Hopelessness, I have The Big Gloom by Have a Nice Life, which is, we've talked about this track extensively in one of our deep dives, but it's basically a song about a depressive in an ice bath thinking about committing suicide, or I think he's actually bleeding out, I believe.
It's that part's kind of up for interpretation.
Yeah. And just, like, oh man, the atmosphere of this track is so incredibly depressing. And it just, like, absorbs you into this, like, it absorbs you so heavily into the narrator's perspective at that point. And his vocals on the track are, like, they sound almost lifeless, and are just incredible and very depressing and sad. Yeah. And then for Terror, I have Long Road No Turns by Daughters, which is a terrifying song about how anyone can break at any point, and it just takes a little push.
Little tap, little love tap.
But man, like, I was thinking of going with maybe, like, Ocean Song or Guest House or something, but something about Long Road No Turns is just, like, it's like you're having an anxiety attack. Like, it feels like you're just panicking at that point from this, like, existential dread, and you know there's nothing you can do to stop it. Yeah. Anyway, those are my songs. Brandon, what are yours?
I don't know. I feel less and less happy with my picks every minute since I made them. But we'll just go with it. So for Melancholy, I chose Two-Headed Boy. We talked about Neutral Milk Hotels in the Airplane Over the Sea in a deep dive, and we discussed this track extensively. But I don't know, that this album as a whole, it's I've sat with it a lot since that deep dive happened, and it's taken on a lot more meaning. And it's just like it's sad. Two-Headed Boy is essentially the beginning. You can view it as the beginning of I guess coming to terms with the separation between these two characters, at least the beginning of that, and how that, they can never really be truly together. So yeah, that was kind of sad, I guess. So for Rage, I chose Bomb Track, which is the first song off of Rage Against the Machine's self-titled. Really, any Rage Against the Machine song would work. They get me going. I could be like sleeping or something, very calm, very meditative, and you play a Rage Against the Machine track, and I will fight someone. I'll do it. But Bomb Track specifically, because I listened to their self-titled like as an album in album order so much, and Bomb Track starts off that album. It really just like has a way of just getting me going. Especially the lead into that track is just, it's like so good. Oh, fucking love Bomb Track. With Infatuation, I think both Joe and I really struggled with Infatuation, what to choose. I was very close to just picking the song Infatuation by Sophie.
I was also tempted to do that.
Yes.
And I remembered Bjork, so.
But I was kind of, I was very much thinking of picking some like hyperpop esque song. I settled on High by Hannah Diamond, which is essentially a song about her just obsessing over this person, obviously very infatuated with them. For Hopelessness, why'd you order them like this? This is such a...
It was just off the top of my head.
Okay.
When I wrote the question down originally, so...
So going from Melancholy to Rage and then Infatuation to Hopelessness those are some transitions. But I chose I Don't Love by Have a Nice Life for Hopelessness. As you can see, Have a Nice Life, hopeless.
They make some very uplifting, fun music.
I was very close to picking Earth Mover for Melancholy as well.
Interesting, okay.
But
it's interesting. We'll get into it when we talk about the only other response we got to this.
Yes. So I chose I Don't Love. I Don't Love is easily the most depressing track off of not You Won't Get What You Want. What?
Death Consciousness.
I Don't Love is easily the most depressing track off of Death Consciousness by I Don't Have a Knife. Have a Nice Life.
I don't have a nice life.
It's the repeated phrase of like I don't feel anything, I don't love, that destroys me. It just destroys me. And yeah, it's insane. And then for Terror, I chose The Most Important Part of Your Body. This is a song off of one of my personal favorite albums, by The Paper Chase. Now You Are One of Us. Yes, I was blanking on the name for some reason. Now You Are One of Us, very unique album. I might do a think piece on this thing someday, or well, on The Paper Chase in general. But it's essentially somebody like having a mental breakdown due to the ending of a relationship. And Most Important Your Body is, I guess, like one of the weirder tracks out there. The refrain is the most important part of your body is the one that currently hurts. So, like with an album context, that just, it means it's about like his broken heart, essentially. But like, it's also just surrounded by, him screaming, so I think it works. It works pretty well for Terror.
Shoot, I forgot. God, I had a different choice for Terror, and I forgot about it.
You forgot what was your Terror choice?
So my choice for Terror, actually, I think the Daughter's Pick is still good, but the opening track off of I've Seen All I Need to See by The Body is terrifying to me. The atmosphere that that track builds is so like oppressive. And there's distorted screams that you can just like barely hear in the background. With like this just wall of noise being created. It's kind of terrifying.
That's pretty good.
There is like towards the back half, it kind of like breaks into something more like melodic, I guess, and almost like beautiful. But that first part of the track was fucking horrifying. I don't think I've had a track like instill that sense of like fear in me for a while.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think this actually you could probably just apply that to like most of the Body's music, but because they're just like they just make like really oppressive noise music.
They do. They do.
But yeah. Anyway,
we have one other response to this question.
Yeah.
Thank you to the one respondee. We love you very much.
Thank you, Jason. I'm gonna call him out.
I was gonna do that to him. But for Melancholy, he chose No Surprises by Radiohead.
This is interesting because
I totally get. I was considering choosing Videotape for Melancholy.
That's interesting because I don't think either of those songs are melancholic. I think it's kind of the same thing with Earth Mover, where to me, Melancholy is like very specific. It's like you're depressed, but there's like a longing for something in there.
See, Videotape gets that for me because I don't know. It's essentially him being like, "This is it. This is my videotape." I guess it kind of feels like longing for something more, but No Surprises is
to me like No Surprises and Videotape and Earth Mover are like more in the section of like despair or even hopelessness actually to some extent, where it's like those songs to me make it feel like there's no way out.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas to me, Melancholy is it's a very specific feeling for me. So like, I'm surprised no one mentioned On Melancholy Hill by Gorillaz.
I don't think that song's that melancholic.
That song's extremely melancholic for me. The chord progression on that song is like perfect as far as like melancholy is concerned. Okay. Or what I get out of Melancholy.
I prefer something that's a bit more down tempo, I guess.
Interesting.
For Melancholy. That being said, I chose Two-Headed Boy, so I don't know if I can defend myself.
I would say Neutral Milk Hotel does sort of fall in that area.
Definitely lyrically, I think it works a lot.
Yeah. They're very their style is very unique. Which I think allows them to like it allows a lot of their songs to feel like many different ways at once.
Yeah.
But
it's definitely because it's a lot up to personal interpretation.
Yeah. No Surprises is definitely interesting. Jason also mentions No Surprises for Hopelessness, which I think is a fair choice as well.
Yes.
Because it is a very like man, fuck. That song's a really depressing.
Right. So for Rage, he chose The Reason They Hate Me by Daughters. Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I do. It's definitely not what I typically would choose for something that's Rage, but it's definitely I totally see it. It is very angry.
It does have rage. There are other songs that I think are far more angry though. Yeah.
I'd say the anger on The Reason They Hate Me is more out of like it feels like it's out of this like desperation to get out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lashing out, definitely.
Yeah, it's a lashing out, whereas I mean, I guess you could argue that Hero of the Soviet Union and Bomb Track are also sort of a lashing out as well.
It feels different though.
Yeah. I think it feels more targeted is the thing. Whereas The Reason They Hate Me is just kind of like he's like fed up with people giving him shit in general and just like is telling people off. For Infatuation, he said Bodies and To Binge. To Binge is a Gorillaz track, right?
Yes, it's off of Plastic Beach. It's the one with Little Dragon, or the second one with Little Dragon.
Ah,
after
okay.
Empire Ants. To Binge is like good. It's a good choice for Infatuation. I think what's holding me back from liking it as a good choice is that I don't really like the song, honestly. It's like fine. It's just it's kind of boring in my opinion.
I like it. It's nice, but it's not. It doesn't have that feeling of infatuation for me.
Like lyrically, that it's there, but like it's not. It doesn't convey that feeling very well in the instrumentation, I think.
I kind of agree. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Bodies, I think, is a very good choice for Infatuation. The whole point of Bodies is like, hi, I just want to be with you, just like physically be together with you. So I think very good choice for that.
As we said for Hopelessness, he says no surprises, but also maybe like all of A Crow Looked at Me. He says, I guess there is hope there. I don't know where he found that hope.
No, that's the thing. Depending upon the mood you are in when you listen to A Crow Looked at Me, I think you can find things in the lyrics which point towards, I guess, a light at the end of the tunnel. The tunnel is very dark, though.
I don't see that personally. There's like sort of, I guess the ending track is, that's the thing is like the ending track doesn't feel to me like he's on the path to recovery. It feels like he's like sort of at the point where he's accepted that he has to live like that. It's not like acceptance of what's happened and him like moving on. It's like I just have to live like this, basically.
The hope isn't about moving on. It is about he will move on at some point.
Okay, I don't get that at all from it. I don't. I think there's like basically no hope at all in the record. It's like purely depression. Yeah.
All right. And then for Terror, he chose Story 2 ? By Clipping. There are way better Clipping songs to choose.
Story 2 is not bad. Well, Story 2 I understand because Story 2 is I get because it's not like conventional like Terror, like it's not like the horror themes, but it's like this anticipation of something awful has happened.
Yes.
And like what, like there's like this sense. There's a sense of impending doom. And like there's nothing that he can do about it, basically. So I think that's a very good pick.
I don't know. I would choose other Clipping songs. I don't know. Run for Your Life comes to mind immediately. But yeah.
All right. I'm tired.
Good question of the week. What's the question of next week, Joe?
It was what movie universe do you want to live in?
Yeah.
That was the one.
Let us know in the comments down below what movie universe you want to live in.
Yeah. Which one? Tell us.
There's one correct answer, just so you know.
There's one correct answer.
It's Cars. So you can be a car.
No, it's
and
Garfield.
Fuck the Owen Wilson car.
It's Garfield the movie. I wish Garfield was real. Anyway, with that, I guess we'll move on to discussing the album of this week, which is Fully Completely by the Tragically Hip. Brendan, do you want to introduce it?
So, I don't know. This album, it was on the tier list, and I've been meaning to listen to the Tragically Hip, I guess because they're rock band. I don't know. They're kind of like...
They are rock band.
They are a rock band. I like Pixies-inspired bands, and I believe they're Pixies inspired. I'm not like 100% sure if like that is recorded somewhere, but it feels that way listening to their music. However, and also fully completely. So there's like two albums that you typically listen to from Tragically Hip. It's Fully Completely or Phantom Power. I chose the earlier one because why not? Interested to see if Phantom Power is any different, but we'll see one day when we listen to that because it's also on the playlist.
Yeah, it's actually not like Phantom Power actually is not one of their like highly rated records. So, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We might have a Phantom Power episode one day.
Maybe if you subscribe right now,
yes,
you'll get us closer to the big 100, and then we have to listen to a bunch of them.
We've been kind of slacking.
Yeah,
but so Tragically Hip, they're a Canadian alternative rock band from the 90s. They definitely have that early 90s alternative rock sound.
Yeah, they sound like they sound like a jam band, basically. Like they're kind of in that like college rock REM vein.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What did you think of this? Because I thought it was like okay.
I think it's also very okay, which sucks because I don't think we're gonna have that interesting of discussion.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say about the record. It's just like a 90s rock album, and like that's fine, like that's cool, but like I don't care that much about it. I think it's just because the sound, maybe if I had heard this when it came out, I would have enjoyed it more, which maybe. I mean, I wouldn't be alive, but I wouldn't have been alive, but because the sound that it encapsulates was just so pervasive in the 90s that I've already heard so much stuff that sounds like this.
Yeah.
Especially stuff that like kind of plays off the sounds presented in this record. God, like fucking Matchbox 20 or
it's not
that
it's not like that. It's not bad, but
it's Matchbox 20 or Hootie and the Blowfish are like extensions of this sound.
Yes.
And like this is definitely not as bad as that, but also like I don't care that much. Like it was enjoyable enough when it was on.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it held my attention. And like it's not poorly performed. There's some nice melodies and harmonies going on, but it's just I just find it very boring, especially compared to a lot of what was going on in other areas of rock with like grunge at the time.
Definitely. Like this record doesn't upset me. It's not offensive in any way. It's pretty solid. But I can at least appreciate it for what it is. And also that, the stuff that comes after this is like Hootie and the Blowfish or Matchbox 20 is just like far more boiled down and just awful. Way poorer performances and way less feeling. I don't know. Matchbox
way less feeling.
Matchbox 20. I don't get any feeling from Matchbox 20.
It is 100% music that they play in Walmart. So really the shoppers don't go insane and the employees do.
I was one of those employees at Walmart.
Let's go.
But yeah, I mean this album, I don't know. There's a couple pretty like solid tracks. I'm not in love with it by any means.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't have like much to say about it.
There's
It's
not a
kind of
lot
just.
to say.
It's kind of
We
just.
spent a long time on the VMAs, so we can just kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. On it. So are we just like done with this album already?
I feel like that's gonna be like when we finally do that tier list video. That's probably gonna be a lot of albums on it. It's like
Well,
this one's fine.
Yeah, a lot of it is probably just gonna be like it's okay, and we'll agree and put it at like like a 5 or a 6.
Tier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. This is like a 5 to a 6. I think it's like no, it's probably a 5, honestly.
Really? Okay.
Maybe a 6.
I'm
I don't know.
I'm
It's
definitely
more
like a 6 to a 6.5.
It's
honestly.
like actually no, it is like a 6. Because like it's well made.
Yeah.
It's well produced. I don't have any problems with like the mixing or anything.
No. Like I said, there's nothing that like was like, that sounds wrong. So, but it's just like it
Like, yeah, I'll never listen. I'm not going to listen to this album ever again, probably.
Yeah.
Because like I just don't really see a point. I think there's just much more interesting music I'd rather listen to.
Definitely. And in the realm of 90s rock, this is not one of the greats, in my opinion, at least.
Maybe we should do like REM next week or something.
There are some REM albums. Actually, we have a guest, and the guest has selected.
Oh boy! All right. So yeah. I mean, hey, if you like this album, go
all
wild.
To you, honestly.
Yeah.
If somebody came up to me and was like, "Yeah, the Tragically Hip is like one of my favorite bands," I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna judge them for that or anything.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Sorry, this just reminded me of a thing. So, recently, I got a new roommate, right? And I was just talking with him, and I asked him what his favorite artist was, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe Radiohead." And I involuntarily laughed at that. Because he said Radiohead, and he was hurt. He was visibly hurt.
Let's go.
No, you don't understand. You're just it's just like Radiohead is like a virgin kind of thing, and like nothing wrong with that.
Let's go.
I feel so bad though.
Don't worry, Brendan. I mean, hey, my favorite band's Radiohead, so
yeah,
he's in good hands.
You're okay if I laugh at you.
Yeah.
This is like the first day I met this man.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Just show him your list and be like, no, look, I enjoy them too.
I showed him my Kid A vinyl. Okay. Anyways, moving on, I guess, to the movie. You chose this movie.
Yeah. So the movie for this week is Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee's 1989 film, which is about just like a particularly chaotic day. A particularly hot and chaotic day. In I forget the neighborhood. I don't remember if they mentioned the film.
Bed-Stuy. It's it's abbreviation for something. It's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood in Brooklyn.
Bedford-Stuyvesant. It's an African American cultural center in Brooklyn.
Yeah, and it's about essentially underlying like racial tensions coming to a head, and just about I guess the society and culture that exists within this neighborhood at the time.
Yeah. This movie has a big focus just like on the people in the streets.
Yeah.
Like there's a main sort of plot through line, but it's just happening while we're watching the neighborhood. Essentially.
Yeah. There's a film I've been meaning to watch for like a really long time. And I've like tried to on multiple occasions, and then I like found that it wasn't actually streaming on the service that it said it was or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I am very happy that I finally got around to it.
Yes.
I personally really love this film. Really, it's an incredibly interesting look at just like the time, and how, I guess, how these like cultural tensions like manifest themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I feel like it's also, it's very well, it's kind of in your face about a lot of stuff, but I'd say it's very nuanced in its portrayal of like racism within the neighborhood, because it like basically everyone's racist in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally a scene where it goes from person to person, and they're all just yelling racial slurs at some other person.
Yeah, basically. Or it's not directed at some other person. I think it's just, or well, it's weird. It's sort of there's like a sort of pseudo fourth wall breaks in this movie, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Where each person just talks directly into the camera at that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. There's a lot going on. I want to talk about this plot because I especially want to talk about like the last half hour of this film is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
So to get to there, essentially we follow this guy Mookie, played by Spike Lee, the director. He works at a pizza shop, and it's like the only pizza shop in the neighborhood. It's run by Sal and his two sons. And Mookie is their only other employee. Mookie delivers the pizzas. Sal and Vito and Bino, very Italian names.
Yeah.
They make the pizzas. And essentially,
I cook the pizza.
They make it the meatball. And see, it's okay to be racist against Italians, right? It's okay to do the right thing. You're fine. No, but. Essentially, one of Mookie's friends, bugging out, comes into the pizza shop, and he's like, "Hey, you got this Hall of Fame here, and there's no black people on it. There's only Italians." And so he goes around and starts trying to get people to join his cause to boycott Sal's. And eventually, he gets Radio Raheem, right? To join his cause, who's like this big dude, carries around a boombox.
Just goes around playing Public Enemy.
Yes, honestly, great music choice.
Yeah.
So, and then bugging out and Radio Raheem, they go into Sal's at the end of the day, and they're like, "Hey, put some black people up on the wall." And it turns a little bit violent. And then it turns a little bit more violent, and then it turns a lot more violent, and then the police kill Radio Raheem. They strangle him to death, and then people burn down Sal's pizza shop, and it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And that, from the point where that like conflict escalates, I think that part of the movie is done incredibly, incredibly well.
Yeah.
It's very much just it feels way too real, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, because it is real. Which is how things
the way things escalate, is very it feels very accurate, I guess.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. It feels like, I guess, I guess it's really interesting because just most of the problems everyone has with each other come down to just cultural differences and not really understanding each other's cultures,
Mm-hmm.
it seems. And that like lack of understanding, like just boiling over in frustration. For the most part, the police are just racist and
The police are just
garbage. Yeah, I don't know.
It definitely like it feels like the movie is making a metaphor of just like, imagine you have a pot and you throw a bunch of people in a pot and turn the heat on, and they all started like
dancing.
that's not the word I was gonna use, but yeah. And that's just like how this movie feels.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's it's like there's a lot of really great things that this movie does.
Yeah.
Especially with just how it portrays even the smallest details.
Yeah.
Of like there's a couple scenes. There's one where like Mookie walks over a kid drawing chalk in like the sidewalk, and then he's walking back at night. I'm like, I don't know, very
Feels like the neighborhood has a ton of character to it.
yeah, it feels alive.
The neighborhood is a character.
It is.
And from that, it makes everything in the film feel just a lot more vivid, including all of the people in it who are also like very vivid and have a ton of like personality to them. I just want to, this is like a thing I just want to point out, because the left hand, right hand thing that Radio Raheem has is a reference to Night of the Hunter. He does like the little speech that the main villain from that film does, because the main villain in that film has love and hate tattooed on his hands. And he does the speech that he gives in Night of the Hunter, except like his own like twist on it, basically. Because like, whereas in Night of the Hunter, when like, you know how he does like the fighting thing in the or Radio Raheem, when he does the fighting, he's like doing boxing. But in Night of the Hunter, he just like struggles with his two hands. And just that like a detail, firstly I love the reference.
Yes.
But also that detail like gives him so much like personality, especially like if you know the film he's referencing, it gives the character a lot more personality, because you realize that's probably like a film he really loves.
Especially like because Radio Raheem doesn't have a lot of dialogue in this film, so
yeah, he just play music.
He's very much he speaks with his actions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is also I do appreciate how people are always doing things in this film.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're just in the background, you see them doing things. Like there's times where like the mayor is in the background, and you know, it gives a lot of these characters a lot more I guess presence, which is really what this film is all about.
Yeah.
The people.
Yeah. I love the mayor also.
The mayor's great.
He's wonderful. Especially love it. It feels like this film also subverts a lot of tropes. The mayor especially starts out as kind of, he's like a happy drunk, I guess, is the way he's kind of introduced, as just like the local drunk. But he turns out throughout the film, you see he's like actually just like a very nice person who,
he's the voice of reason a lot of the time, actually.
Yeah. Instead of just being like a funny drunk guy, who's upset because they don't have the beer he wants. He like turns out to be such a much more interesting character. I feel like that consistently happens in this film, where minor characters who initially seem like they're just there to kind of support the atmosphere of the film turn out to have just so much to them. It's like the three guys sitting in the chairs along the sidewalk who are just bantering with each other are really fantastic.
They are. What was it? Sweet Dick Willie or something?
Yes. Sweet Dick Willie, and I forget the other two. Yeah. There's also Sam Jackson as the radio host is also wonderful.
I love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Honestly, when the movie started, there's like it starts with like this dance scene and then transitions and you get Samuel L. Jackson doing his like radio show. I kind of wish the whole movie was just Samuel L. Jackson because he's great.
Yes. Honestly, probably my favorite role of his. Yeah. Despite how small it is.
No, but he kills it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know, man. There's just like a lot to this film.
Yeah.
Lots of racism.
There's a lot of
racial tension.
A lot of racism.
It's very interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like honestly I think this is one that I need to rewatch because like I really loved it, but I feel like if I rewatched it again I'd be able to talk about it a lot more easily. Definitely. More in depth.
Essentially knowing how the movie progresses, I think there's definitely a lot of stuff at the beginning that I missed.
Yeah.
Which kudos to Spike Lee, I guess, for creating a movie that I want to watch again. I will say, I just like slight negatives I can think about this album. I think that some of the acting is a bit stiff at times.
Yeah, it's fair. I feel like Spike Lee's acting is honestly the weakest. Yeah, like I still definitely like him. I still really like him in the role, but there are times where he feels like he's kind of just delivering a line.
Yeah.
Instead of being like in character.
Mm-hmm. There are like some people that do great, but
he's probably the only one that really stands out in that respect.
There are definitely times where like he would deliver a line and be like,
yeah,
it wasn't really selling it that time. There are definitely some people who do really great. Like I think Bugging Out does an incredible job with his role.
Bugging Out,
Sal as well.
Yeah. Wait, who's Bugging Out again?
Bugging Out. He's the guy that wants the pictures.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Radio Raheem is great. Who else? I mean, Sam Jackson, we already mentioned, and also the three guys outside the three guys bantering along the sidewalk are also really great. Yeah.
I think I had another small complaint about this film, and can't remember it right now.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. Because it wasn't. It was small then.
I don't know. Again, I feel like this film is something that I should probably rewatch, and then I'll have a much better time discussing it, I guess.
Yes, overall, I would say this is definitely a film that you should watch. Especially, like, one, because it's a great film. too. It's a very culturally important film, I think.
Yeah. The one that I feel like is very relevant still. So
Definitely. Like, obviously we have progressed in some ways from when this film was made, but very much not in others.
yeah.
And this film makes some very good points in that regard.
Yeah.
It's very interesting points. It's very interesting considering the time it was made, and also its constant references to MLK and Malcolm X, where their ideologies are very much inspirations for this film.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're constantly referenced. Who's it? Smiley? Is that his
Smiley.
name? It has pictures of them that he's selling. Who's I love. Honestly, probably my favorite character in the movie.
Smiley? All right.
Wonderful. And also it ends with a quote by Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really hammer home the points.
Yes, they do.
There.
Also, this film also, wasn't nominated for any Grammys. Not Grammys. It wasn't nominated for any Grammys because it's a film. It wasn't nominated for any Oscars at all, which is definitely interesting because actually, let me get 1989 Oscars up because I don't think anything good won that year.
Deadpool Society might have won. Last Crusade, maybe.
One sec. $1989. You got Dances, or I guess then it would be nominated for the 1990 ones. Dances. Oh no, year of film release. Never mind. No, 1989. Driving Miss Daisy won.
What?
Driving Miss Daisy won.
Okay.
Dead Poet Society was also nominated.
Yeah.
Which I just watched, which was very good. Great film. It's not as good as Do the Right Thing though.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Honestly, Dead Poet Society is more problematic.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like, Do the Right Thing. I don't really know if there's anything I would consider necessarily problematic in Do the Right Thing. Like, there's racism, but it's very clearly not good.
Yeah, I think some of the character portrayals are probably played up a bit.
Is it Smiley specifically?
Yeah,
I get that, but also the way that he's portrayed, like he feels. He doesn't feel just like he's not a gag character is the thing. No, he's a fully
he has a purpose,
realized character, and he has motivations and like very clear like emotional like beats and connection.
Yep.
It feels like this film does a great job of just humanizing everyone in it.
It really does.
Yeah. Man, like nothing outside of Dead Poet Society, nothing good was nominated in 1989. Actually, I shouldn't say that because I haven't seen quite a few films mentioned here, but I guess that My Left Foot has Daniel Day-Lewis in it, so I can't say nothing good was nominated. But yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to get to scores?
We can do scores, yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I absolutely love this film. It is incredibly unique and stylish, and full of charm and personality, with some very interesting and well thought out commentary on the society that it takes place within, and it's still relevant today. Give this like a 9 out of 10. It could sneak up to a 10 on rewatch, but it's a 9 for now.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar. I definitely think it's a 9 out of 10. There's only like a couple of small things holding it back, mainly the acting. But there is a lot of great stuff, and I definitely think this is a film that like everybody should watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Especially the last half hour. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Some of just like the last half hour is easily just like some of the best film I've ever seen.
Yeah. Man. All right. Well, with that, I guess that's it for this episode.
I guess so.
Yeah. The question of the week for next episode, as we had mentioned, is wait, what was the question again?
What movie universe would you like to be in?
Yeah. And what's our album and movie?
The album is going to be Predicts the Future by Plumtree.
Okay.
And the movie is going to be Gooby, directed by Wilson Coney Bear. That's right, everybody. Gooby.
Never heard of either of these.
So the album looks pretty good. The film has a 1.4 on Letterboxd.
Oh, okay. It's one of those weeks.
So yeah, we're gonna have some fun.
All right. Well, yeah. Do you have any other things you want to say before we go?
Do I have anything? Yeah. Just don't be racist.
Good advice. Good advice.
It's gotten me this far, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and we won't see you. You'll hear us next week. Maybe. I don't know. Goodbye.